I got Rican coming in.
How much?
Rican, my brother, what's going on?
Assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing?
Walaikum salam. I'm good.
Hey,
How are you doing? Jack, do you know what salam alaikum and the walaikum salam means, bro?
I know it's a Greek.
So on your way to becoming a Muslim here. It means that blessings be upon you, bro. And then you say it back, walaikum salam, and saying blessings be back upon you. It's like hello, but when someone says salam alaikum to a Muslim, they have to say walaikum salam back.
Right, okay.
Here you're an honorary Muslim today, bro, and we're showing you how it's all love. See, there's no terrorists in this chat. It's all love. That's a narrative. See, just like you believe in all this 666 flying around the sun, it's just like you believe a Muslim is a terrorist. I'm not saying you do, but that's how it is. And really, it's all nonsense.
The whole time I thought Rican was Rican, like Puerto Rican.
I am Puerto Rican.
Very nice, Puerto Rican. The revert, brother, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so it is Puerto Rican. Your name's not Rican, right?
No, my name is Alex.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Sorry, Alex.
Okay. I was thinking I'm wrong here because I saw the Puerto Rican flag. I thought I'm sure he means he's a Puerto Rican Muslim, but they call him Rican. I'm like, shit.
Hey, what's going on, brother? What do you think? Is this crazy? Are we crazy?
No, I mean,
Alex, Jack, and James.
A lot of good points. I mean, it's kind of illogical to think that something comes from nothingness. It really is kind of logical on it because the term nothing is the absence of something. So
right, yeah.
Something can't come from nothing. And then you have the problem of infinite regression if you believe that everything's by chance, because something needs to start something for it to, because like, okay, why that become that? You keep going back and forth on it until you find that this thing that begins it, then nothing begins. So
what do you think about all this being the center of the universe?
Huh?
You think we're the center of the universe? The
whole center of the universe, I don't know. And really, I don't think it even matters, to be honest, because it's my existence where I'm at right now. It's really the only thing I can see, touch, or feel. So whether or not we're in the center of the universe, I don't think it matters or even changes anything. But there is a God, there is a creator, and if there is a perfect creator that made all this, because even the whole development monkeys and everything on it doesn't work, because even if we see how species happen and everything, if there is an evolution on it, then the past ones wouldn't be there to begin with, because the evolution must have been for a triggering for something. Right. We see things for instance, for like dinosaurs and things like that on it. Yeah, so if monkeys evolved from monkeys, then there wouldn't be any monkeys, because the evolution must trigger something for something. So, and even that.
Oh, right, yeah. Why would they get left behind? Yeah, because we haven't left old humans. Yeah.
And not even that, goes into a bigger problem, because if there's randomness on it, then it'll be an infinite randomness. Like it just be too many random things around on there. So it just like even humanity,
too many random things around, like too many different random species or subspecies.
Exactly. We as humans also would have been randomized as well. Like why did we stop? Why did we stop now? Why didn't we continue to be randomized? Why didn't
we are. It's ongoing. I think it's ongoing.
But no, the things, most of them are being traced to, at the most, have been due to where location on there, and very few minute. But I'm talking about supposedly from monkeys to human on it. Then it would have kept on going on it. When it comes to human as a species on it, things like pigmentation, fine, yeah, things like on it. But it's not like we have some that have 3 hearts with 2, 3 stomachs. No, there's still a consensus.
Because you don't need 3 hearts and 2 stomachs. It's not necessary. It's not part of evolution.
If on randomness, there's no way you say, well, we don't need it. Well, if an evolution that requires a 3rd heart would happen, so you say, well, we don't need it. Well, how do you know?
Because we don't have it, we don't need it.
I believe in evolution within the species. For example, you get like tribes of people who can hold their breath underwater for super long, and they have wider noses.
Yeah, that has to do with their. And that's to do with their region, but those are small money, like being able to breathe underwater more, pigmentation because of the sun, water skin when it's colder. Yeah.
And they can breed with us, so the same species. They can't change to like where we can reproduce with them. They're still a part of the same species. You can't species hop. You can't.
We have a question.
Cat and dog together.
We have some questions. I just ask them out and maybe go around. Because one's for Jack. What do you think the purpose of life is?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. I think the purpose is like individual. So you create your own purpose in life. But as a species, it's just to like evolve and become better. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, and by better, obviously like advance, but obviously be a better species and take care of the planet. And we sort of are responsible for everything else on this planet being the smartest species. So basically, it's fundamentally that.
But that
Okay,
doesn't.
well-
The problem with that is obviously it's based on you, but somebody's purpose will be to destroy it. So that's their purpose in life.
Yeah, I've got actually a question
And how
as
do
well.
you how do you deem taking care of, doing good to the planet? Like, how do you deem that? Like, how does one person deem that versus somebody else on it? Which one is the right one? Which one is not the right one?
And there's just 2
Well,
points
you
I
sort
want
of
to
hash
make,
it out
right?
as
Is
a
where you
species,
said
don't
about,
you?
I just want to say this, the 2 points where you said that we're getting better as a people.
Hmm.
Okay. Are we evolving spiritually and morally? I would say no,
Yeah.
because we've gone down the darkest routes that we've taken in, it seems like history, maybe, like castrating kids and craziness. Won't get too political. But anyway, you've gone down that. And then you say, so we're not getting morally superior. And are we getting technologically more superior? Well, I guess in a sense, but we're about to render the human race redundant because of AI. I don't think that's what God would want either. So in our chase for individualism and our pursuit for technological advancement, we're going to end up hurting a load of people. So the question is, does God have a burden on you during your purpose of life that burdens you with discipline that protects your brother and sister? And I think that's the fundamental. Is this individual or is it civilizational? And I think it's civilizational. I think that God has an expectation on us.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's both. I think individual, you have your own, and as a civilization, you have one as well. And ideally, they should align.
But your purpose is desire as an individual, right? You're basically saying you want to follow your
You have desires as well. Yeah, you have desires as well. Of course. Some of them align, some of them don't align.
All right.
But the
I
problem
used to believe that.
the problem with desires and everything on it, it's just desires never really fulfill anything on it. Because if you get women, it's never enough. There's always it becomes a rabbit hole. Just as we are.
You have a desire to be a better Muslim, do you not?
Well, I don't desire to be a better Muslim.
Oh,
I want to become a better Muslim because I want to get closer to my Creator.
you have a desire then.
It's not more of a desire because I have other desires, but it's something that I know I need to do.
What separates that as a desire?
Because it's something that I need to do instead of something that I want. Like, I want $1 million. I don't need $1 million. That want is my desire. I don't need it. I really don't, because I got everything I need. I got everything I need. I want it, but I don't really need it. Now, what I need substance. I need to breathe. I need air, and I need to be a better Muslim. Because that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala requires from me.
And I got a question for you, Jack, that's going to just flip what you're saying on its head. Because if your pursuit is women and you get to a point when you can have all the women you want, what's next? And I'll tell you why if you become the best Muslim you become, then you're going to be someone who lives a really, really good life. If you continue your desires of chasing the next high, the next woman, do you know what happens? It ends up where P. Diddy ended up. It ends up, you go and look at the person who's gone crazy, desiring to become the best Muslim, and he'll be the opposite of P. Diddy, which I think we could agree is good. So, so I mean, it's a really difficult argument to try and use desire to be good under the eyes of the divine is akin to chasing women, because one is healthy.
It's something. I said that's why
it's more like a discipline.
The need from the want. That's why it's like I need those things. I need a closer connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I need to study the Quran. I need to pray.
And here's the thing, right, bro? Think about this. We desire all the same things, bro. We're men. We desire fun. We desire women. But we decided, like, no, I am going to shut my eyes, keep my eyes down, and I'm going to do the stuff that is going to be effort and hard, but it's going to make my soul feel better. Like, let's not pretend we're any different. We're wired the same. We all want to do exactly the same things. We've got the same darkness in us that we're trying to stop from acting like a bad person. So like, it's not like I'm gonna say Rican. It's not like Alex is. It's not like Alex is saying that he desires to be the best Muslim, like you're desiring go and chasing tail. It's a completely different thing.
That's why I said I need it. That's why something I need to do. You know, I need to do, and because my morals are not are objective instead of subjective. Because everything you're saying is subjective. When you're saying, oh, everybody makes their own. When it's subjective, well, then it just becomes kind of a irrational thing, because then everything changes within the week, within the day. You know what? How do you know what's good or bad? Like how do you know that? You know, there's plenty of people say that castrating kids is a good thing. It's subjective, and in your own point of view, then technically they're right as well, because that's their prerogative. You cannot say that's bad.
What's your opinion on that, Jack, on the transgendering of the kids?
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all, obviously.
Where do we get the rules from then if we don't have a guideline to live by? Because if we're individual, we can choose them. Yeah, and that means that if I have kids, I can let them get castrated at 3 years old. But is that good for the kids?
Yeah, but but that's because you're affecting like someone else, especially underage as well.
That's what individual behavior does.
Yeah, but in a liberal society, everyone can do what they want. You want to take drugs? You chop your bits off. Chop your bits off. It's cool. That's the main.
You want to raise a kid, and you.
No, I think if you want to do that as an adult to yourself, then
but
power to you. But I don't think.
If I said to you, Jack, I want to chop my hands off, yeah, you'd send me to mental hospital. So why is it different if I want to chop off my reproductive organs? If I said to you, Jack, I really want to chop my hands and my limbs off and become like a nugget, you'd call the mental hospital, wouldn't you? So why is it when I want to cut off my bits, if I wanted to, would you say, that's a great idea, let's take you to a doctor and he'll do it for you professionally?
I think it is slightly different.
So even as an adult,
some people, I think, they're gay, they're born into like a guy's body, they think they're a girl, they want to be a girl, they're not happy until they're a girl, and in a lot of cases when they do transition, they end up like committing suicide and things go wrong as well. But I think to mutilate your hand and cut your hand off, there's no reason for that. You weren't like born like, oh, I always wanted to be.
Yeah, but I feel like I was born with an extra hand. I didn't want 2 hands.
Yeah,
I want to be born
disabled. You're talking subjective. The thing is, you're talking subjectively, so that you can't say you don't think you say is I think I feel, but the other person says I think I feel. So everybody says I think I feel, and it becomes subjective meaning. So then, what is the objective morality? The objective good. If you don't have that, then you have to, in a sense, say they're also correct in the way they're saying I think I feel. That's also a correct way. That's also good in their view. That you cannot say that's bad because that's subjective. If he says it's good, well then you have to say, well, that's his view of good versus my view of good. So then it becomes where we have what we have now in our society, where everybody's saying I think I feel, and we have all the problems that we see now because there is no objective truth, an actual objective truth where whatever you say, I think I feel, does not matter, because there's an objective truth that says this is good, this is bad, and you have to judge on that and that alone.
All right, we have another question for you guys to debate then. I think that's a good point, Rican. And he says, 2 things I just want to say, and then you guys get into talking about it. You got Akil says, and this is to you, Jack. To be honest, if you've already conceded that transgenderism is okay, then morally it's not going to make any difference to you to have it for the young ones either. But if you think it's wrong, then you're not going to want to give it to young ones. So I'm of this stage, whether you think it's right or wrong. I don't think a kid is of an age to make that decision, but I don't believe that you should be doing it. I don't believe that just because a set of boxes looks like a car, you can call it a car, because what makes a man and a woman is a lot more intricate than just a feeling. It's a whole mechanism. It's your engine. It's your internals. And now you could say, if you want, you could be like, yeah, but gender is separate to sex. And well, it wasn't actually always. That's a new idea. They've separated it so they can do this subjective argument. But really, when you think of a male and you think of a female, you think of a male as someone who is the dominant, the impregnate, and the female is the person who takes the baby. And now just because someone can look like one doesn't make them one, in my complete opinion. No disrespect to those people.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you there. But like, I just think there's a difference between, like, I have the same opinion as you there, but I just think, that you should definitely obviously leave the kids alone. Like, when you're an adult, you got your own free will. You can do what you want. is your body, is your life, right? But yeah, the kids.
We got a sister from New York says, to be fair, Jack isn't condoning transgenderism. He sees it as preferable to potential suicide. His approach is it's the lesser of two evils. I don't agree, but I understand his approach. So I respect that. And then the other one we just said is, I'll be honest, it's all about your surroundings. And I believe that it's nurturement that causes this. What's your guys' opinion on that?
I agree that it's nurtured. I think it's done like maybe like geographically or something. Like you see a lot of it more in the States and like certain
in the
places.
West. Social media.
Social media. And I think social media has had a massive impact on this. Like there's been in politically and things like this, there's been a massive divide between people, and social media refeeds you and pushes you to one side or the other. And it just regurgitates this stuff. So yeah, I just think it's splitting people apart, to be honest.
Okay.
But what do you think influences it? What do you think influences people to go chop off their own body parts? It's not social media, because
maybe it's their peers, maybe it's their peers, maybe it's their parents, maybe it's their like. It's just a little bit bad parenting.
I remember being on the playground and remember feeling like isolated, or you got like no group has accepted you at this point or whatever. And I think that it must be a battleground being a kid now, seeing that the most accepting group is one that goes against your biology, that you see you're a hero if you do this. And I think it's a dangerous place for a kid to grow up where they're incentivized to take permanent steps for inclusiveness to groups. And I think that there's so many incentives to join these groups. And I think because these groups want more people in them, you've got everyone so proud of everything they do. And I think that kids need to be able to grow up cohesively without influence from teachers, peers, nothing. And I think that you touch kids is an ultimate sin. That's what I think. And of course, touching them physically, I'm saying touching their mind as well. Leave their minds alone. It's not for you.
Like, there's parents out there. There's parents out there that, like, you know, support their kids being a cat, and they go to school and the teacher's got like, you know, dressed them as a fucking cat and things like this. You know what I mean? And like, if the teacher, like in some states, if they're not going along with it, they're like losing their jobs and shit.
Well, I think it's because they don't have anything. I mean, when you have an objective rules on it that you wouldn't allow that on it. So it's like the more we deviate from the creator and his rules on, the more that happens. The more just a break from that on it, you know. And we see it by even when this United States was more Christian than anything else on it. We didn't see all this craziness. I'm not saying it was perfect. There was a lot of craziness that we didn't have on it because at least
it wasn't as wild as it is now.
No, because there was, and that's why I don't believe there needs to be a separation between church and state. I think that's a bad idea. If you have a complete, you know, guidance from the creator, that is why a Sharia state done correctly works, and it has done profound good on there. I'm not talking about how, you know, we see on the media on it, but, you know, we see you know, in Spain, the best years they ever had was when it was Muslims on there, and we see it, you know, like all the you know, and the caliphate on it, how, you know, science, math, really everything grew exponentially on there because people were, you know, when you leave the things that I think also, I mean, you know, things like alcohol, drugs, things like that on it, when you separate that from a people on there, then they don't have as many of the distractions as well. You know, we do amazing things. That's why everybody who's all these motivational speakers are like, man, stop drinking, stop doing this, stop doing that on it, you know. It's like, oh, it's amazing when you don't have all those vices, all those distractions, you accomplish the greatest things on your life on it. But if you do that,
I agree with you on the vices. 100%.
Yeah, if you do that as a societal whole, imagine the entire society then living like that. When they're like, okay, everything has to do about not just making yourself better, but making your surroundings better and take away all the vices. You know, wow, how much of a different society will we have?
Bros, I gotta make it to Germany. I'm an hour ahead of you now. I'm gonna have to kill the stream now. If you should we all jump on a stream later? This is fun. We could debate. And everyone's loving it. We've got 40 people just sitting and chilling. Sick. All right, well, bros, I will catch you later. Yeah, let's connect and we'll do another topic later on.
That's right.
Yeah, catch you later. So I got your
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
Walaikum salam. See you in a bit, boys.
Mashallah. Cheers, bro. See you later.